Hello, my people. It's Dahlia.
And Nicole.
And this is Quiche My Ass. Okay.
You haven't done that in a while.
No, I don't think so. But we haven't been here in a while.
True. But we've never been here.
No, we've never been here. We're in a new studio. Not really. We're in my living room floor. My living room floor. Not my parents' living room floor. Yeah. Yeah, I got my place with my man.
With my man.
Oh, okay. And, of course, we decided to do an episode last minute.
So we've been gone for a couple weeks.
Yeah,
but
so sorry, guys. Glad that you guys are keeping us entertained, though, with your messages.
With your messages. Instagram has still been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But today we have a guest who's a very unique guest. She's not a chef. I don't know.
I don't cook.
Does she cook?
She doesn't cook.
No, she doesn't cook. But she's special because...
It's my mom! And if you guys don't know who my mom is, this is Annabella Santiago. Say hi.
Hi.
She also I don't have the same last name as her because she decided to keep her last name.
We don't have to give up our last name.
Okay, so I had a talk with Ian the other day. I was like, when our kids have our last names, they're going to have both of our last names because I'm carrying that thing. Like, it's coming out of me. Like, and he's just like, traditionally. I'm like, the American tradition.
Yes.
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 Because if you're Egyptian, you would have, Dahlia's name would be Dahlia Amerhelmi.
It is, actually, on my birth certificate.
No, we didn't.
Oh, I thought it was.
I refused because I don't think he gets both the fathers and
in
the
Egypt,
mother.
you get your dad's first name
And
as your
name.
middle name and last name.
Well, that's kind of what I did when I married Thomas. I took his first name and his last.
That's true.
Well, no, because my last name was already Thomas.
Oh.
So,
and she married a guy named Thomas.
but I'm
she's
keeping
Thomas
both.
Thomas.
No, she's not Thomas.
But I'm keeping both. I'm Nicole, Danielle, Thomas, Cater. I'm keeping both last names. But it looks like I'm taking his first name too, which I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
That was your last name.
It was mine first.
No, he's older.
Yeah, but it was my family's first. Anyways.
Anyway, we have my mom here. Nicole's super excited to ask us a bunch of questions because we never had a chef's mom.
We never had a parent on here.
Parent.
Well, no, we have had people who are parents, but we've never had the parent of a chef on. And we think that it could be really interesting, and we hope that you guys like this episode.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay. So Nicole, go right away. Just start.
Okay, so just to start, let's tell the guests a little bit about you. So where are you from?
I'm from Portugal.
Wow.
Where in Portugal?
Aveiro.
Okay.
She's looking.
You have to say that. You have to say I'm from Aveiro, Portugal.
Okay. Aveiro,
No arguing,
Portugal.
okay? No arguing on the podcast.
Well, we have multiple
Aveiro,
places.
Portugal.
Yes.
Okay.
We have multiple places. We're so
what's
rich.
what's your favorite thing to eat in Portugal?
There's really believe it or not, it's roasted chicken with French fries.
Yeah, churrasco.
Churrasco, we call it.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's so good.
How do they roast the chicken?
It's a rotisserie that they sit there, but they
don't put anything on it. Just
they
salt.
marinate it. Well, I think they put a little bit of hot
they
sauce.
Put the hot sauce.
Hot sauce and salt.
That's it.
Literally it. And then they just sit there and roast it, turn it in the rotisserie, and then they serve it with French fries. But they give it to you in a bag.
Yeah.
And then you come home, you cut it with scissors.
It's a bag, insulated bag.
Yeah, like the foil's inside, but the paper. And every time people come over and they've never had it and they eat it, it's wow.
It's very good.
It's the best thing in the world. I should take you.
The cheapest thing.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go to Portugal with you guys.
No, we could go to Newark. They have decent ones.
Newark, yeah.
Pulaski's not bad.
Yeah.
They have good ones.
Okay.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, no, it's something simple, but it's good.
Is that that's a classic Portuguese dish? What about the seafood in Portugal?
It's there. Bacalhau is the number one.
Well, I don't consider that seafood.
But
well, it is, mother.
But
it's fish.
I guess, but seafood to me isn't it
This is
clams?
not a chef, guys. Just
That's why
you
I'm
know.
saying, okay.
What do you consider it?
Clams and lobster and
No,
seafood.
what do you consider bacalhau then?
A fish.
Seafood.
Fish is considered a seafood too, but I get
guess
it.
When people say seafood, I don't know. I would think, they're saying
Fish.
okay. Give up.
Okay.
We're not arguing. I'm just letting you know.
So your favorite, I mean, bacalao is what it is. Do you want to tell people what bacalao is? I know what it is. It's like a salt-cured cod, or
yes, it's cod cured with salt.
But like, so when you walk into a supermarket, there's a whole area of just like
they have that at my bodega.
Yeah, it's just like
salted
cod, just like fillets, just laying there, and like it became so expensive over the years.
And it's actually good when you eat it like that.
I eat it like that. I like pick the salt on it and like
you peel it off. You peel a piece off and you eat it like that.
But with bacalao, you're supposed to soak it, right?
Yes.
So that's not
like,
super
Well, there's
salty.
different recipes. Like you don't have to. There's one recipe where you only soak it for an hour or two. There's other.
Is bacalao from Portugal, or are there other places that do it?
No, I don't think so.
I didn't think so.
I think cured fish started in Asia, and then they brought it over from
Yeah,
Portugal.
but I mean like the bacalao, the dish.
Bacalao itself.
No, because I know in Jamaica they have it.
But it's more of a the Portuguese. Jamaica might be doing it different. Like Egypt, they have that stinky fish that they don't dry it, but it really smells so bad.
They like smoke it and like leave it out.
It smells like rotten.
Ew.
But the bacalao, it's good actually. Like she says, it depends on how salty you want it. So
yeah.
If you marinate it,
I love it.
Too long. I mean, if you leave it long, you'll take the salt out.
When Mike and Nick came to Portugal, though, they actually didn't like the bacalao. It's like an acquired taste, I think, if you don't eat it often.
Yeah, but I like the bacalao that you had today.
Oh, the bacalao bolinhos. It's potato and fish. Like, if you don't
Nicole
like
doesn't love that. It's fried, too,
It's
right?
fried, yeah.
Actually, one of their favorite dishes was what we called bacalhau
Braj.
Braj. It's French fries,
boiled egg,
and the catfish,
caramelized onions.
The codfish you have to
flake it.
Flake it after you take it. It takes 2 minutes to boil. You boil and then you have to flake it. And then you mix that with the French fries, and
you put boiled egg on top, some olives, caramelized onions.
Ooh,
it's so good. Last time I saw my sister, I made it for her because I was
they eat no leftovers when it was that.
No, you can't.
So you said you don't cook.
No, she doesn't cook.
Okay, so Dahlia didn't learn how to cook from you.
No.
Which I already know this. I just have to ask for the listeners.
She has been the most. I've never met anyone so spoiled in my life. Her mother cooks breakfast, lunch, and dinner for them.
Oh, breakfast, I eat bread and coffee.
Butter, yeah, there you go. But then, like, that's my grandma. She always made breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She still makes it for my grandpa, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for him. And then she married a guy that makes her coffee in the morning.
That was my plan in the beginning. I always said I would never marry anybody who can't cook.
Sometimes delivered lunch to her. Like, oh, can I have hummus for lunch?
That's
sure,
fine.
honey, I'll make you hummus.
Nothing wrong with that.
And then we had dinner. Like, we had a nice dinner every night. And I hated leftovers because I'm
the only time it was mom's dinners and it was, guess what it was?
It was tuna fish.
Portuguese tuna fish, because it's different.
What's different?
It's just better quality.
Better quality, and they marinate it in olive oil.
Yeah. And
yeah,
like herbs sometimes.
There's no such thing as water,
Yeah.
And the tuna itself tastes different.
It's good.
Because I feel
it's pink.
It's
not white.
If I ever get canned tuna, I only get it packed in olive oil. I never get the packed in water. Ugh, it's not good.
Chicken of the sea. You don't like that water?
Ew.
I drink that juice before I go to bed.
You're disgusting.
Dahlia,
okay.
So
Dahlia learned how to cook obviously from somebody else.
Grandma and dad.
But
not really.
The people who were cooking for your mom.
You watched Daddy.
I watched them cook, but it was never.
She never ever
cooked.
I
never cooked.
No, she didn't even play in the kitchen.
So that's why I was gonna ask: when did you know Dahlia was gonna be a chef? Because for me, I think my family always knew because I was in the kitchen. I wanted to be in the kitchen.
We didn't think that was gonna, we just thought that was just a phase she was going to.
No, my dad was like, "You want to go to culinary school?" And I was like, "Not really." And he's like, "Well, you're on the wait list." I was like, "Okay."
But it was high school, so it was fine. So if she didn't like it, she didn't have to pursue.
But it was his dream. Like, their dream was to open up a little restaurant. Then they realized all the shit that goes into it, and they're like, "Nah, we're good."
No,
but they're always like, right. When I was little, they were like, "We should do a restaurant where you have good food, blah blah blah." And then I think when I entered the industry, they were like, "No way, we're ever gonna have a restaurant," because you guys would have to work.
So, what's your least favorite thing about Dahlia working as a chef? Not now, because I know she's got like a pretty good deal, right?
No, but what do you mean?
Like, I know my mom, she worries about me. She's like, oh, you work too late. Oh, you work too many hours, whatever. Are you the same way about Dahlia?
No, I think she's actually very spoiled with this new job.
Well, yes,
we can't talk too much about this new job. I'm sorry.
With this new job, but what about before that?
No, because she's pretty tough cookie, so.
Okay, well, that's nice. I feel like I am too, but my mom still worries about me. She's like, oh, you must be so tired. So
no, they were not. I was 14 years old and my mom's like, you need a job. And I'm like, 14? I don't need a job.
I guess I didn't baby them though.
No. So like we just like me and my sister had to work and that was it. Like we just had to work.
Well, it wasn't not for the money. It was just to learn you to have you guys experience what life is all about.
Yeah. Well, she turned out okay.
But she did. So this is weird. I worked at Panera Bread and me and her recently went to Panera Bread and she just told me now that she hated when I worked at Panera Bread.
Why?
Because one night, and she was, 17?
No, I was 16. I was still young.
One night, she's in the place.
I didn't have my license, so she would pick me up.
Cleaning the restaurant, just her and the manager.
The male manager?
Male manager, yeah.
Is that how I sound?
I don't know. I just felt like doing it.
That's where I get it from.
But so I just thought that was very, very. That mouse is okay. That's very, very. That's my mouse.
It's not your mouse.
Okay.
It's not your mouse. I'm sorry.
Okay, so
she can't focus.
You didn't like that Dahlia was working alone late at night with a male
manager. Yes, I didn't think that was appropriate.
Was he creepy?
No, and I honestly would tell her right away if he was creepy.
Yeah,
I just didn't think
what happened. I remember that night is everyone had to leave and I was in charge of the dining room and he's like, we have to power wash the floors, and I was like, okay, like just letting you know my mom's sitting outside, and he was just like, okay, does she mind that you're working overtime? And I'm like, I don't think so.
Right.
But like she felt uncomfortable. She's like, that's just so weird.
It's not safe for him to be alone.
It's not safe for him, you're right, because he could have, Dahlia very well could have said anything.
So he should have protected himself just like a doctor.
I just don't think, first of all, it was when I was 16, that wasn't a thing.
You're right, it's different now.
It's different now. It's not a thing. But also, when I came to you about sexist shit in the kitchen, you were like, well, back then, that didn't matter.
Well,
so she didn't have my back when
Why? You didn't have her back?
I'll tell you why.
She'll tell me why, and this is like the old school shit.
No, because I know what kind of their background, where they coming from. That's the culture. So if you go to Portugal, not now, not as back then, guys talk like that. There was no such thing as like, and they would check your ass and or say something.
We're E on here.
Like they would. We heard that all our lives. You know, so. That's their culture. And the French are the same as the Portuguese. They would be like, hey, like they would just, So when the guys were talking in the kitchen, I said, that is part of their culture. They're not going to change. That's their generation, especially the older guys.
Yeah, but it's not comfortable.
Yeah, but now it becomes ridiculous too, because you could be playing around and you'll take it like,
Yeah, like recently at work I said something.
Well, Nicole's not appropriate sometimes.
No, I'm not. But one of the managers, he's not my manager, but he's a manager that I still respect. I don't report to him, but he's definitely way above me. So he came in and he was saying something about what, I don't know. He said, I asked him about the new COVID protocols. I was like, so when I come there tomorrow, like what are the new COVID protocols, right? Like, do I have to wear anything? Do I have to wear a mask? Double mask? Like, what is it? And he's like, well, I'd like to say you don't have to wear anything, but you have to wear a mask. And then he was like, wait.
I said the wrong thing.
But he didn't mean, it sounded that bad. He was saying he'd like to say that I don't have to wear a mask at all, but I have to wear a mask. And then he was like, HR probably heard me say that. And then what I responded with is something that our good friend Nicholas Sclafani says is, don't worry, I'm vaxxed and I'm waxed and it's okay. And he's like, okay, good. He's like, good. I have to worry about HR with a lot of people,
So
but you're
cute.
you're probably fine. I don't need to worry about you. But you're right. Like, there are some people who would be like,
Take everything the wrong.
take everything, the wrong way.
Yeah.
Okay, so you weren't worried about Dahlia being
Working in a kitchen.
working in a kitchen.
She's never worried about me.
Then what did I go and drive Panera for?
No, but you were picking me up from work.
No.
She's never been like worried about like what kind of situations I'm going to get into at work because I never really do get into situations.
Yeah,
But the good thing is, because you guys talk, like, you're very open, so she doesn't have to worry because she knows you're going to tell her anyways.
Yeah.
But also, it's her personality because her sister would be totally different. I wouldn't.
Yeah, because you're strong and independent, and not that your sister, like, your sister is too, but just you're very different.
No, but
We're different.
You're a fighter.
And she's, let's say, street smart.
And she's outspoken. She will definitely say what she needs to say.
So I wasn't worried with her in the kitchen. I knew that they wouldn't
And
go so far that she would stop them from going far. And
I
that's how
also
you
was
learn.
in New York, so like any time that I could spend with my family, I would go. You were in Maryland, like, so you couldn't just go. So I saw my parents during the holidays and stuff.
That's true.
So
That's
I did.
true.
Stop staring at the cats.
Okay.
She keeps staring at the cats.
Don't stop yelling at your mother. Okay, so my other question. Do you like Dahlia's cooking?
She
I know.
recently just started eating my food.
I was just going to tell you. I could count in my hands how many times I ate Dahlia's food.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never my dad cooks.
Do you know the first thing she cooked for us? She made cookies, and those were delicious.
I make good cookies.
She made good cookies.
Surprisingly.
So
'cause
that
I
was the
hate
first
bacon.
time she never cooked for us. She never.
Until I moved back after 8 years of not living home.
And then you obviously, yeah.
Well, no, because I was doing videos for Instagram. So I was just doing videos, and I was like, you guys can have the leftovers. And my dad would be like, wow, that was really good fish and chips. And then they started eating. I made you a turkey burger randomly.
Yes, but like.
I never cook.
But were you cooking food you wanted to cook, or cooking food that you knew that they would like?
No, I never cook anything they would like. Because I like to cook myself vegetables, and they're more meat and potato focused. You are. And salad. Sorry.
We're salad people.
Because
we
no,
don't
they're
have-
not salad people. They're meat, potato, and salad people. Like with the salad next to the meat and the potatoes.
Isn't it okay?
That's
It's a big bowl of salad.
It's okay, but what kind of salad? Like iceberg?
Romaine with avocado, carrot.
cucumber.
Yeah.
Okay, so like a salad.
Like
Yes.
a mixed
I know what
green
you're talking about.
salad, like with just the toppings.
Okay.
But like that's it. Like but that's not the meal. Like you know how like me and you eat, we'll have like salad as the meal.
By the way,
Oh, tell me.
guess what yesterday's dinner was?
Oh, talk to me.
It was a real salad. It had all the extras.
What does
Like
that
what?
mean?
Like
there croutons?
radish, peppers, tomatoes. Those are things I don't like.
Did you eat them or pick them
I
out?
did, believe it or not, because I like
She likes little things. If
yeah,
they're
I
in
like a little bit of it, but if I get big chunks, I don't. And then tuna fish, and it was really, really good.
Okay, of course. If it
And
has
avocado
if it has tuna in it,
or beans.
I did want to say if you go to Portugal and you go to a restaurant like a lunch spot and there's no tuna fish, it's not a Portuguese place. Like every
That's
place has
interesting. I
tuna
didn't
fish.
realize that.
No, it's huge.
I know in Portugal they do a lot, like, tell me if I'm wrong, but they do like a lot of canned things. Like canned fish,
It
canned
became-
everything.
Yeah,
It
but
became
tuna
their-
is everywhere. Like everywhere.
Like
We have a
raw
lot
or
of-
canned?
no, canned only.
Yeah. And it's
Never raw.
It's a meal. Like
Why?
You don't think about it. Like we do the tuna fish.
It's
with,
not an expensive country, so like like tuna's cheap. Not that cheap.
Yeah, but why canned and not fresh?
They do both.
I
The
don't
more
see
canned,
fresh.
I guess, because I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. I'll have to.
Yeah, we'll have to
it.
Google that. We'll have to have Ian
Google.
Google why in Portugal they eat canned tuna but not fresh tuna.
I think because it's not that tuna is definitely not like fished in Portugal. It's definitely from somewhere else.
Right.
They can.
What about octopus?
Octopus is everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's like such a not even a delicacy. It's just there.
What's the best way you've ever eaten octopus?
My mother makes the octopus with rice and has wine in it. It's
Red
cooked with
wine. So it's like a red wine. It's like a risotto, with red wine and
so good.
But you just like throw the octopus in and cook it with it, or
you cook it separate. And then you
have to
fold
take it
it
forever.
in.
Yeah.
And then you fold it in, but like she does it so well.
It's good.
Ooh, octopus risotto. That sounds good.
It is.
With red wine, so it's like
if you don't have
always thought octopus was supposed to be so red because of like how many or purple because like that's what it looked like when we were little. I like octopus grilled. That's my favorite way.
Yeah, grilled too.
I love every. Yeah, I like octopus. I like with mole. I've had is very good.
Yeah.
I like.
No, you would like that.
Ooh. Yeah, one day with Dahlia is gonna cook for you. Okay?
They make octopus with cold octopus. That's an appetizer with the beans, the black-eyed beans.
Yeah. No.
Beans.
It's not black-eyed peas.
Black-eyed peas.
Black-eyed peas.
No, what's the little
Yeah,
bean that has
the white bean with the black?
Yeah.
The black-eyed peas.
Oh, it is a pea.
Well, they look like beans, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said that you didn't know Dahlia was going to be a chef.
No.
No?
No.
What did you think I was going to be?
Yeah.
I didn't.
My parents are very like, do whatever you want, figure it out. And me and Lila are both in the art world, and they're just like, cool.
Because you're going to have to live it.
They knew that we weren't smart.
Oh.
What do you mean you weren't smart?
No, we weren't book smart. Like, me and Lila were not straight A kids. She was.
She was.
But, like, they knew I was BC's, and they were okay with that. They were just like, she'll make it.
She'll be fine.
Not everybody has
She was a C student.
I was more like an F student.
I was a C student until I went.
I think Nicole's one of the smartest people I know.
Maybe even less, like a C, D. Sometimes I would get D's. And it wasn't until I went to culinary school straight A's. It's like, oh.
Because you're doing something you like.
Yeah.
And, we can learn
So
it.
usually you get a bad grade on something like math that I couldn't stand.
Yeah, but now I can do culinary math, and I think, like, I'm way ahead of a lot of people, and I do the math great. But you asked me algebra, and I failed algebra 3 times.
We're going to go back to that.
Catfish thing?
No, the Portuguese tuna fish.
Oh, tuna fish, yeah.
Tin fish has been part of Portugal's culinary... This is from eater.com, by the way. This is not my research. Like, this is just eater.com. Tin fish has been part of Portugal's culinary heritage since 1853, when the national canning industry was born, which is crazy. Over the years, tinned fish became Portugal's original fast food, a cheap, convenient source of protein during the times of economics turbulence and food shit.
Okay.
Locals eat it with everything from sourdough bread to salads to pasta, which we also make tuna pasta, which is so gross to say.
It's actually good.
But I know, but like telling people.
But you do it with like olives and capers, could be good.
We do it with olives, mayo, lemon.
Mayo in the pasta?
No, it's cold. It's a cold pasta salad.
Oh.
It's a cold pasta salad. Which
I was thinking hot. I'm like, oh my God.
But we do know somebody that did that, remember?
Oh, yeah. With tomato sauce.
She always talks shit about it. She's
what about anchovies?
She doesn't like anchovies. Actually, my dad told me he made Caesar salad and she didn't like the anchovy in the dressing.
Okay, so
which is in every single Caesar dressing.
Yeah.
But he probably used regular
real one, and then the ones in the jar are fake.
No, they're not fake.
Yes, they are. They're not real. They're not using real stuff.
Yes, they are.
Any of this.
The canned shit is real.
Oh no, I'm not talking. I'm talking the dressing.
Oh yeah.
They're still anchovy. It's anchovy paste.
Okay,
yeah.
Whatever. Which I love. I love anchovy paste. I bought it for here.
So you are from Portugal and your husband is from where?
Egypt.
Have you been to Egypt?
Yes.
How many times?
Twice. So
what's your favorite
times.
Egyptian food?
Actually, I hated every meal that I ate in Egypt.
Oh my God, why?
She did hate it.
And show them you guys, because Amr, my husband, could cook the stuff and make it taste so much better that any food that we ate, like a simple thing as...
the only thing that was good there was their breakfast stuff, which is like the falafel and the fool, which is like
So
beans.
they eat falafel for breakfast in Portugal?
They eat it all day long, actually.
No, not in Portugal, in Egypt.
I'm sorry, in Egypt, but it's a breakfast thing?
Yes. Yeah. With full, that means that's fava beans dried up. And then
it's not dried up.
They're dried, but then cooked.
They're dried and then cooked. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You have to soak it. You have to soak it.
So it's so heavy, and they have feta cheese with tomato and
yogurt.
Oh, they really eat it. That's
Like
why
for-
Egyptians don't last many years.
Because they eat a lot.
The life expectancy is
they eat
72.
the worst food. Everything is fried. Like they
There's
eat so much
there's
fried
this
food.
dinner in Egypt where like you eat lamb. It's like part of one of the Eids, and you eat lamb, but it's also the next day is the most deaths from eating, because
Deaths
people
from
overeat and they don't wake up after eating lamb because
Oh my
lamb is so
gosh.
heavy.
What
Isn't
are?
that
How
crazy?
is the lamb?
And I remember we were
Ian's
celebrating.
back there like, what? I'm never eating meat again.
No.
We were celebrating this holiday 2 years ago, and I remember sitting there with like everyone, and we were just so stuffed because we just had so much braised lamb. And they were like, yo, so many people, all the dads were like, yeah, so many people die in Egypt because they like overeat
And
lamb.
it's just braised lamb.
It's like braised lamb and like its own fat because they use so much fat.
They
Like
cook
lard
with
and fat. Not lard. 'cause
Yeah,
lard
it's
is
not
pork, but-
like-
It's like
So like in Croatia and like in Eastern Europe, they cook with a lot in fat, but like even their life expectancy is not that long. Like it's 72 in Egypt.
yes.
That's how long. That's normal.
No, they really don't. It's the food that really kills them.
No, not the hashish and the hookah. Actually,
No,
the
the
hookah
shisha,
there.
actually, they would last longer then. If they stopped
It's the
eating
food.
that.
That's
no,
crazy.
and the hookah for sure, the hookah, because there's a hookah bar in every corner.
But the difference in their falafel, you said, is they make their falafel with fava beans.
yeah, it's
Instead
so much
of
better.
chickpeas.
It's so.
Why is it better?
Oh, that's my mother's phone. You shouldn't be no phones
I'm
and recording.
sorry.
It's green inside because my dad blends it with parsley as well. Oh,
Right.
It's so much better. Because I think chickpeas, it's too soft. And this one's just like crispy. I gave you a bag and I left it in my car. And it,
I
like,
know.
just,
I
like,
never got this.
you
Like,
never
I
got
love
it.
falafel. I will eat falafel every time
No.
I
It's
get.
good, but when it's hot, when it's cold, I don't.
I could eat it all day. But yes, it is a breakfast thing. So she didn't like anything in Egypt. She's also a very picky eater.
You didn't like anything in Egypt either.
I was young.
They never ate fast food, and this is the only
Oh
time
yeah,
they
we
used
were
to eat
like,
fast-
"Where's
Kentucky Fried
KFC?"
Chicken.
Yeah, we were like, "Where's KFC?"
They
I
never
need...
ate it, and they
Talk to
would
the
only
microphone.
eat. Oh,
Ian's in the
I'm
background.
sorry, I'm talking to my.
She's
Yeah.
talking to Ian.
We're here. Don't talk to Ian.
I was because he makes nice faces when I'm talking.
Sorry, I'll make a nicer face when we're talking.
Okay.
She's a flirt.
I can tell.
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
Okay, so
Egypt's not for her.
Egypt's not for you.
But
that's- but-
especially not in
We
culinary.
did go to Morocco.
Morocco,
And that was what
great.
she loved. She loved that kind of African food.
Yeah, that was.
which was very French influenced.
But that's like also kind of it's Mediterranean more.
Yeah, but
than,
they don't. Like I said, Egypt was more frying, a lot of frying.
Everything was fried.
Everything was fried.
The fried fish is
The
not
veal
bad.
was like
How do they eat veal?
fried.
fried
Everything's
and
fried.
battered. So everything is fried. Not even they grill fish. They don't grill fish. They fry. Everything was fried. So we were not too.
But you liked Morocco.
Yes, Morocco food and the people were wonderful.
Yeah.
Totally a different.
Me and my sister, we went when we were like 7 or 8, and we would go back because
Yeah.
we like remember how beautiful and perfect it was.
Yes, people are very, and they're very, well, I know this has nothing to do with the food, but they're very pet-friendly people. So cats are treated like
The cats were well fed.
well-fed.
Were there a lot of street cats though, and
Yes.
they get fed the street
get
cats?
fed.
And so there was also the homeless people. You want to talk about
Yes,
that?
and the homeless people get fed too. They're very generous with,
So, like, if we're sitting at a restaurant, let's say we're sitting right now, we're eating, and we have our leftovers, a homeless man could come to you and ask, "Can I sit and eat your leftovers?" And you say yes.
and they'll let them.
And that is very common. You don't know how many homeless people would go up to you and be like, "Can I eat your leftovers?" And it's very, like, relaxed.
And they won't throw the person.
And they
won't
just
say,
sit
"Go
at the
eat out
table
there."
with you.
Yeah. They
They're
sit
there,
at the table.
or they sit after
or they
you
go to
leave.
another table.
No, they sit after they leave, so
Yeah.
they eat the leftovers.
But, like, no one at the restaurant, like, comes over and, like, yells at them.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine doing that in
In
New York?
City? Oh my god. Like, can I have your leftovers?
As they're like falling over.
Well,
it's
and
so sad. I
It
hate
is sad.
to
No,
see
and
it,
right
but
now it's really bad.
but at the same time, if you see those people, what do? You can't you can't feed them every single time because
Well, I
then
think
it's like
the ones in New
enabling
York
them.
are scarier. I think the ones in Morocco are not as scary.
Well, but also you have to see the difference.
They have the
the
gypsies.
people who really
The gypsies.
are hungry will be okay for the food, but then the ones that want money, they're not
They're not getting food.
they're not getting food. They want alcohol or drugs. So there is a difference on which people would come to a restaurant.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Because how many people would say, "I'll buy you a sandwich," and they're like, "Nah, money."
No, it's true. It's happened to
always-
me in New York where I had like this 2 loaves of bread and somebody knocks on my window like asking for money. I'm like, no, but like I have these 2 big loaves of bread. You want them? And they're like, fuck you, and like threw them out the car window. I'm like, okay, I'm never giving you anything again.
The gypsies in Europe are the same way. They want you to give them money.
They're well fed.
But that means they're eating. That means they're well fed.
They are well fed. The ones in Portugal are scary.
The
one in-
gypsies?
yeah, the one in Spinho.
Because their color and the way they dress. They dress with like the traditional gypsy long dresses and
very tan and beautiful too.
Yeah.
They're always like the most
the men
beautiful
are not.
ones walking
The men
around.
are
Not
ugly,
the
but-
yeah,
and
but
they're
like,
loud. They're very loud people.
But it's like whole families of gypsies.
Yes,
so it's
yes.
different. They're not homeless because they're
They're not, and they're selling like the clothes that you're buying. Like
Yeah.
you're walking around.
Actually, there's flea markets where you go from the regular flea market and
And then the gypsy.
the
flea.
gypsies. So everybody.
But I like the gypsy part because it's cheaper. 1 and 2.
It was entertaining.
It's-
They're very loud.
But
They're
they
like
get their clothes because they're gypsies, so they get their clothes from like Italy. So like I would be shopping in like this little flea market with like Italian clothes.
but they
that-
steal them or they buy
No.
them.
I
they-
don't know.
I
They
don't
probably
think
do
so.
trading. 'Cause that's
But-
their thing. We should totally interview.
no. I think gypsies are mostly known for begging, but yet, they're not. They don't need it.
I don't know
Yeah.
how we got to this conversation.
Okay, anyways, back to food. Back to food. So Dahlia tells me you're really picky.
She
Yes.
is.
Why? What is it? What are the things you hate?
Vegetables.
She wants me to love all vegetables, but I don't like. Nobody likes all the vegetables.
I think I like all the vegetables.
I don't like broccoli. Okay, kill me. I just don't like broccoli.
Killing me. I don't like broccoli. Put it on a
What
shirt.
about cauliflower?
Cauliflower?
I like
she likes.
cauliflower.
What's the difference?
It does taste, and even I guess they both smell bad.
They both smell bad. They're both similar. You can cook them the same way. Like you can close your eyes and cook
But I
them
never
the same
tasted.
way. They're
I
both
never
going to be
compared
good.
the taste. Actually, I should try that, huh?
Yeah.
I just
I
don't
think
like
they
broccoli.
taste the same. And cauliflower actually backs up my stomach, so I can't have cauliflower.
Cauliflower upsets my stomach more than
Broccoli, me too. Yeah.
because it's more.
Yes.
You
know.
don't like kale.
No,
She doesn't like braised greens at all.
I don't like.
She likes collard greens.
No, grills. I like collard greens, but there's
Gadosh.
Grillage. It's a weird spinach kind of thing.
but it has like a.
it's
the
thicker
leaf-
spinach,
and
but
the
it's like
leaf is
Chinese
like,
spinach. You know what I mean?
It has like a fuzz, sort of.
I love it. I could eat.
What is this? I don't know what it is.
It's like a Chinese spinach. You know, like the long.
Oh,
stem-
Chinese spinach. Yeah,
Yeah.
with
But
the
it's-
long stem, but the.
But it's a little
So I guess
slimier.
Yeah.
I could say I don't like spinach.
Stop talking to Ian.
Oh,
Microphone.
I
She doesn't
don't
like
like
spinach. She doesn't
Okay.
like mushrooms. All
I
mushrooms.
love mushrooms.
Not all mushrooms.
I think this is definitely one thing Dahlia and I have in common is that neither of our moms like to cook at all.
Really, your mom doesn't like good.
No.
All right.
Which we don't have a lot in common, but it's one thing that my mom
We
is
don't
like,
have anything
but
in
my mom's
common.
not as picky as you. But she will eat vegetables, but she's much
like if
more
I
of like
took her to Danielle, she would hate everything. Yes.
Okay.
Well, I took my mom to Danielle, and then the next day I took her to Astoria Seafood, and she was like, Astoria Seafood was so much
Astoria
better.
seafood.
Yeah. The thing is,
It's
She doesn't.
different.
We dine differently. She does not like to go and share plates. It's like everyone has to get their own entree.
My mom's the same way.
So
it's entrees.
It's very. I don't know if it's a generation thing.
and I don't like sauces. I'm not into those heavy cream sauces. I like plain. I guess Portuguese food is very plain. My mother's pantry really has sea salt, paprika,
Hot oil, like spicy
Hot
oil that she
oil,
makes herself. It's so good.
pepper.
Yeah, there's nothing.
When
There's
my
no-
husband goes there, he has to buy all the
There's
spices.
no cumin.
No.
It's all like
basic. That's
There's
it.
not even white pepper. Like it's black
What about
pepper.
herbs?
Yeah,
The only
has
herb
it
she
all.
will use
Bay leaves,
rosemary. Yeah,
but it's
Fresh
hers.
bay
but
leaves?
it's fresh. Everything from the garden, so it's not like comes. Yeah, even the teas, everything comes.
You
from
could
the
ask her
garden.
about working on a farm. She hates it.
Wait, you grew up working on a farm?
No, I pretty much not working.
So my grandparents have a farm, but she like refused to do anything.
In the summers we would go there, and I don't like farming.
But what don't you like
She doesn't
about
like
farming?
farming. She doesn't like gardening. Like she's.
Do you know how much work it is just to weed whatever? Because you plant
Well, you like weed.
yeah, well, I'll plant that on the side, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work you can't just plant the tomatoes and you just have to go and, take care of them. It's a process. We tried to have a little garden in our old house and
No, that did not work. The groundhogs were bad.
yeah, they ate all the tomatoes.
That's funny. I had a garden when we were growing up, but my mom didn't want anything to do with it. It was my dad's garden.
I guess.
Only my dad's garden and mine. Nobody
Yeah,
else cared about
I
it.
could see you doing
But
it.
one time I tried to skip school and my dad caught me not going to school. And instead of bringing me, he was like, "You're gonna stay home with me all day, and we're gonna garden." And we just worked in the garden and had to clean up and do lawn. We had 3 acres growing up. So,
Wow.
but I would have loved to farm. I think I would have loved it.
Go work in
The
my
thing
grandparents'
is,
farm.
it's a lot of work.
When are we going to
No,
work?
but my grandma's the complete opposite from my mom because she will do all the outdoor work possible. And she doesn't like to do indoor work. She could do all the indoor work.
Yeah, but I used to. That's how I was raised. I was one that was mowing the lawn and weeding and everything. That's why I don't
She
like it
hates
now.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
No,
And
it is a lot of work. And it was crazy that I would grow up and I'd be like,
Go
oh,
pick potatoes. Remember that used to be your summer thing.
we had to shuck the beans and we weren't allowed to eat dinner until we were done shucking all the beans, all the peas.
But all the beans for dinner or for the
No,
farm?
just to have because she freezes it after the season. So you open the second freezer because there's the first freezer, and then you open up the second freezer. It's the tomatoes, it's the beans,
All different beans. There's
No, all different beans.
When I have kids, I'm gonna make them shuck my beans too and peel the ears.
No, I don't mind
And
that
how
I
would they
did
even
it.
if they didn't do that, they would never know. They wouldn't even know where it came from.
Right.
Yeah, if you ask a kid where
Ask
broccoli
them how the chicken gets killed. They
Yeah.
would tell you.
Did you have to kill the chicken?
Yeah.
No, she never killed it. She
No,
watched
we
my
But
grandma.
did you have to kill?
No, I wouldn't do it either.
My grandma
But
doesn't.
never-
She has no. My grandma would literally grab the little paring knife, by the way, and she just sits there, saws off the head, the neck,
While
First-
they're alive.
No, first you
break the neck.
and then
Yeah, you
Yeah,
No,
no, we
you
don't
have
do
to
it
go
that
like
way.
this.
That's horrible and crucial.
you have to go like this, quick cut,
Ew.
and then cut it.
Why don't you? I thought you had to pick it up and ring it,
No.
flip it around.
That's an American way, and that's why American chickens are the best chickens. No,
no.
it was bad, but it was also cool because
It's quick.
Because me and my sister,
And then they
she
have to-
became a vegan after a while, but she doesn't regret seeing it because we would sit there, we would put it in the boiling water, pluck
then
the
you pluck it.
feathers, take the organs out, and then my grandma would braise it.
Wait, you take the organs out after you
pluck it.
pluck it?
Yeah.
You can't pluck.
You what?
You can't
How
open
would
it
you
with all the
do it with all the
feathers.
feathers?
I guess that's true. I just imagine cooking it with the organs.
No, you're not gonna.
Because you just
No,
blanch it.
you just
No.
blanch it. It's
Yeah.
just so the feathers could fall
No,
off easily.
you're right.
And then just to burn the
and
little
then
baby
say
we've
how
had
Lila
whole-
would say.
Oh, Lila says, Grandma, put the coat back on the chicken because it's cold.
Oh.
And they had no head or anything, but she was fine.
But
The
you-
head was on the floor. She would be like, it's cold. Put the coat back on.
But they only would kill a chicken once a month. And there would be millions of chickens. They probably still have 50
We have
chickens.
so many chickens.
So many chickens, so many rabbits.
I would name
They
all
have
my chickens.
They
if I
have
had
a
chickens.
nice exotic bird that they should not have.
Oh, what was it called? I don't know.
I don't know what the
It's
bird
black
is.
and white.
Yeah, but it's they shouldn't have it. And my grandma, I'm filming her, putting it on my Instagram story, and she goes, "Yeah, and that one's illegal." And I'm like, "Well, I'm on Instagram right now. People are just hearing you say that." And she's
But is it illegal?
To
did
have.
she plan on eating it?
No. They have it in a beautiful little spot. It
Yeah.
has its own little home.
Okay.
Her grandfather has pigeons.
He likes to have pigeons.
Do they eat the pigeons?
No. He used to hunt pigeons.
No, he eats it. but not. It's
Not
not,
really.
like one of his.
But pigeons are
he gives
cool.
it away to people.
Every
who do like
morning
it.
he would let them go free.
When he gives it away, does he kill them and then give them
No,
away?
let the people do the work.
Oh, I totally agree with you.
My father was a hunter, so he would bring the pheasants home, and that used to be my job to pluck pheasants. And I was like, if you're gonna give it to anybody, you better give it with the feathers, because I'm gonna be plucking somebody else's feathers.
You're not plucking feathers for someone else.
No, it's a lot of work.
What about
actually.
so they had to do the birds, but your dad, what else did he bring home?
Rabbits?
Did you have to clean the rabbits?
Yes.
You-
But rabbits are very easy, actually, because their skin just peels right off.
Thomas's dad, my husband's dad, he tells me a rabbit and squirrels, it's like pulling jammies off a baby.
Yes,
is what
you
he
just
says.
like
You
cut
just-
it and
You just pull it
Oh
right.
my god, I'm sorry for
off.
all the vegetarians listening, including Ian right behind me.
and deers when my dad hunted deers.
Oh, he has
so
two.
hang
He's one
them
of
from
those
the
gross people
legs.
that has like the
Ugh.
deer heads in the living room.
No. I
I'm
can't
so
stand
glad
that.
my dad was never into hunting.
Well,
I
don't
never
worry.
had to do that.
Well, my dad is not either. It's
No,
my
thank
grandpa.
God I got away from that too.
But like
It's
was
cruel.
we didn't eat that much of his hunting stuff. I don't think I did.
Or Thomas.
But you know what we did do in
Because the
Portugal?
rabbit tastes so much different than I don't know if you ever ate rabbit, but domestic rabbit to a wild rabbit, it tastes totally different.
wild hair, it's like really, it's almost bitter
Tough.
and gamey. You have to
Yeah.
braise it. You have to
Yeah,
cook it for a long time.
doesn't
Yeah.
taste good at
But
all.
then my grandma has this beautiful little oven upstairs. It's
It's a
like
clay
clay oven. So it's like everything we would just cook in there like once in a while. And it'd be like the rice with the crispy top and like all the
And-
braised
and
lamb.
and it's cooked in
Oh, it's
clay.
so
What
good.
about
Clay
the
pots.
lamb? Where do they get
No,
the
we
lamb
never. That was the one thing
They
we-
have
from? They
because
trade
they live
for
in a
it?
farm. There's people you could buy the lamb from.
Okay.
It's a lot of
Or do you
trading.
trade? Like you trade your chickens for their lamb?
No,
No, because everybody has chickens.
no, there's no trading. No, there's no trading because everybody has everything. Like especially in a farm, everybody has oranges, everybody has plums, everybody has lettuce.
Everyone
Yeah.
has everything.
Unless you have something unique, like a tomato that's unique, you share the seed. Or what's that thing that grandma
We used to have
eats now?
cows. Everyone in town had a cow besides us, and that was
And
fun.
we go get the milk.
Every night after dinner, you would hear the bells ringing in town, and you would like walk over to like where they milked
Fresh
the
milk
cow,
right off their.
and I would bring my cup, like be like, "Can I get some?"
But would
milk?"
you drink it warm?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it was gross, but it was good.
It was good. What do you mean gross?
It wasn't pasteurized, obviously, because
Yeah.
you're just getting the town's milk. Like that's what we
Yeah,
used to
no.
drink.
The only thing you do is so it has no hairs. You just strain
filter it.
it.
Yeah, that's
But
it.
you
Isn't
have
that
to-
crazy?
But you have to boil it because it won't last for the next.
Right, but
day.
you boil it.
After you could drink
it right away?
Right away, but then to be able to save it, you have to boil it for the next day.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I thought you had to. I know in America it's illegal to do this. Like, you have to pasteurize it before anybody consumes it.
to sell, it's
To
illegal.
sell.
Like
Right.
people,
Yeah, but people in the farms, they're drinking it like that.
That day. Like, they,
Yeah,
they
there's
milk the
I
cow.
drank it
wrong with
right
that.
away. And look
No,
at me,
no,
I'm great.
Yeah, I don't understand why.
You're perfect.
Yeah, because I guess anything that you put into to preserve it is gonna,
Right.
know.
But I think the boiling it is the preserving part.
Yeah. Like right now, when I do my coffee, I boil my milk because I like hot milk.
Right.
And that milk, I can leave it out all day after I boil it. It's not gonna go bad. You know
Yeah,
that?
I mean, technically it's not good to do it, but like it's fine.
It tastes.
Technically,
Well, obviously, I'm not gonna leave it like for the next day, but it doesn't
Right.
spoil at
Yeah.
all.
Like,
So it
it's
tastes,
fine.
It's fine. So,
Yeah.
it's certain things that you know, in the farm, you end up like, oh wow, like eggs.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
actually-
what about your eggs?
Actually, I just found
oh
out
my
this
god,
out, and
I
was
love the eggs. They're
just-
orange. They're not yellow.
yeah, because the chickens eat they're eating like.
My
from the
grandma's
lambs.
feeding them. It's not like
They
they're not
eat
buying bird
leftovers.
food.
Like
yeah,
once we have lettuce or whatever leftover rice or whatever, we give it to them. So they're not eating
corn.
any
They don't
processed-
eat corn.
And you know that chickens can't feel spice? Like they can't feel
Oh,
capsaicin.
well, I didn't know that.
So you can give them like the hottest bird chilies and,
And
they
they'll just
never,
eat
they
that.
don't feel it. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Wait, so what about the eggs?
No, the eggs, I didn't even know this. I was like, in Portugal, you go to supermarket, the eggs are
Never refrigerated.
never refrigerated. And then I found out that the reason they have to be refrigerated is because after you wash them, they're protected with a coating,
The chicken coating.
chicken coating. So once you wash it, you're taking that out, so the eggs will.
Yeah, and then once you refrigerate them once, you have to keep them refrigerated.
So over there, nobody. It's even when you buy the eggs, they're sold.
Even the milk is sold on. Well, that's a lot of Europe. The
Yeah,
milk is on the counter. Like you don't.
Well, that's
refrigerate
different.
it.
There's two different milks. That's the one that will last you longer. That's like the what's that name? That milk that comes in a container that you don't have to refrigerate. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway,
I don't know.
it's a milk that you don't have to refrigerate.
Oh, pasteurized. Like
No, not pasteurized.
No, there's a name. The name of the milk. I wasn't gonna. I'll see the name, but I can't even think about it. But anyway, it's a milk that could. Once you open it, you have to refrigerate it. But you could. That's what pretty much everybody drinks in Portugal or in Europe. You know,
It's cartoned milk.
it's carton milk.
It's
Wow.
not refrigerated.
This is fascinating.
You would love it.
It tastes different than here.
It's
definitely.
good. It's good. I don't drink almond milk or oat milk when I'm there.
Well, it's different. You don't have to. It's not like
It has. That's what.
There's
it says.
nothing.
there's no hormones.
Right.
There's somebody told me that the reason there's so many people here who are lactose intolerant is because the milk is so far from natural.
I'm not surprised by
that
that
there's
at
no
all.
like natural milk has natural enzymes to help you digest it, but once you kill those enzymes, then your body doesn't know how to digest it, and you have to kill them to pasteurize it.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Yeah. Well,
we have a lot of stuff here, like the bread alone. You know,
there's a lot of people here that have celiac, but if they go to Europe, they don't.
they don't
They're-
have it.
They don't care about
because
it.
we don't put all that stuff into.
It's not
bread.
It's not unbleached flour,
Right.
which is crazy to even like say that because like we don't even think about it when we're buying produce. We're just like, oh, it says unbleached flour, like whatever, ha ha ha.
But it's crazy. It's like these issues don't even exist in other countries.
No, they don't. She, ever since I was little, refused to believe that there's such thing as allergies. And still, she doesn't believe allergies are real. She doesn't believe allergies are real.
Because I feel that
Your immune system.
yes,
You just keep
and
feeding
I
your
feel
immune-
if you introduce it, like pretty much babies will get a little like rash when they eat something for the first time.
She works with babies, everyone.
But
if
then
you wanted
eventually, if you keep giving it to them, the allergies are gone. But parents nowadays, it's like so quick to, yes, there is cases that kids are really allergic.
to know. Allergic.
Allergic, whatever. But
Portuguese is her first language.
but what happens is they
There was
stop
something else she
trying.
can't say.
They stopped introducing.
There's a lot of things she can't say.
I don't understand why I still have an accent. I've been here almost all my life. I'm sorry.
No, I have to correct her, but she doesn't listen. She calls it she calls it
with
Wi-Fi.
I work with babies, so at the end I'm talking blah 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 the whole time.
So that's really interesting though about allergies because what about
Like
Like,
I'm
nut
allergic to
allergies.
shrimp, and she
doesn't believe you?
no, she
No,
believes
no,
me
no.
with the shrimp one because it's it's over time I became allergic to shrimp. I wasn't allergic to shrimp when I was a kid, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
but there are people who say like, "Oh, I'm allergic to shrimp because they had it one time and
Right.
they believe that like that's it for the rest of their
No, do you
life."
see my lips right now? This is just Vaseline because I touched shrimp yesterday, and my lips were so red yesterday. I didn't even need lipstick for date night.
yeah, no, but
Yeah.
it's what people. Yeah, like I said, I believe that people
Well,
just.
she works
become-
with kids, and she hates their diets.
Well, they don't have diets. They eat the same processed food that comes. They believe just because it says baby food that it's good.
So what did you feed your babies?
Real food. I made.
She would like.
Believe it or not,
she
I
would.
cooked.
She
for
would
them.
puree food.
I
Like she
would-
would puree all the
I'm
vegetables.
gonna do that.
And I made-
I'm gonna puree all of
They ate fish as 4 months old because I would put fish and potatoes and carrots.
at 4 months.
At
This
4
is where
months.
this ass is from.
No, they were. I just want them to be introduced to fish, chicken, and I think beef was one of the last things that I tried with them. But Portuguese always ate stuff like that at young age.
Yeah.
4 months, you start eating solids, not
Right.
solids, puree,
but not proteins.
But
right?
now it's like
Proteins.
8 months. If you like. Ask
Yeah, I think
certain
it's a
parents.
year.
But guess what?
For some
because
people.
the reason why they say that is because they want you to do the formula. The
it
formula gives you all that, but I preferred giving them the soup that had all the naturals and then giving them the formula.
Yeah. I mean, there are some people, I saw this trend with babies is that they never do baby food at all. They go straight to like a really overcooked carrot or they go like avocado.
But
They-
why not?
Why not? Because they think that it's better.
But that's the way it was. That's the way the old time. They should go back to that because guess what?
They just boil carrots until they're soft.
Now babies have more allergies and there's more health issues.
Because they're eating these like sterilized generic foods instead of actual
And
foods.
some of these foods, if you look at the salt that it has on a baby food, they're trusting the industry that they're giving the right thing, and at the end, they're not even eating real fruit. They're eating those pouches that you don't even know what's in there.
Yeah.
And you're squeezing this.
That who knows what. It says it's pear, but it's actually like apple or
pear and spinach, let's say.
Yeah, but there's no spinach in the ingredients.
There's nothing there, yeah.
That's crazy.
Garbage. This is why so many kids are sick and have skin problems and all that.
So welcome to our episode, our part of the episode.
Yeah. So does she know?
No, she doesn't. So every episode we have this thing called Munchbox, where we eat something and we talk about it.
Okay.
So I'm about to hand you each one. Nicole's never had one before.
I don't know. I think I've had this before. It looks familiar.
So this is called pastel de nata. I think this is just a Portuguese episode, honestly. Like, this is not about a chef's
food is good.
Yeah, and cheap. So
this looks
is
like a French dish.
what is it called?
I don't remember off the top of my head. Give me a minute.
So this is, oh my gosh. So one of my favorite places in Portugal is called Manteigaria, and they sell just this, and you can put cinnamon on it, and it is so good, and they make it fresh and it's warm, but it's actually lighter. This one they usually put a lot more egg, and I like less egg. I like it creamier than
There is
eggy.
kind of like a lot of egg, but it's very good.
Mm-hmm.
It's like crunchy. So this is like a traditional dessert in Portugal.
They don't do dessert there. It's just like pastries everywhere. It's not dessert though. It's just like you eat it when you walk around.
When you have your coffee. Mm-hmm. So you could have a few cups a day of coffee, and you'll have a dessert with it.
Every time.
When I go, I think
they're not overweight, so I don't understand.
I have like 4 or 5 cups of coffee when I go there.
What is
This is breakfast.
This is breakfast.
No.
Piece of toast with butter.
Yeah, that's it.
Torrada.
Torrada, that's a toast. That's
It's
just
a thick sliced piece of bread.
Like almost like a French toast, but really
like a
thick.
Texas toast. That's how thick it is. And then they toast it, they put butter on it, and then they cut it into 3s.
That's it. It's torrada. But that's pretty much a Portuguese.
Oh my god, I have to take you to Newark because you could just like sit there and have a
Croissant.
torrada.
Yeah.
What's
But
the
not-
coffee like
not
in
the
Portugal? I want to
Not
eat the other
American
half.
way.
The coffee's so much better than like
Oh, yeah.
any other
We have very
European
good
country.
Better than Italy.
I would say
I
it's
feel like-
equivalent. I would say it's equivalent because like everyone in Portugal that I like have brought there or whatever, like the coffee's just good.
I think all Europe, the coffee is good. It's
Not in France.
Isn't that weird? You would think like...
No, the coffee in France is horrible.
They just want dirt.
They just want dirty water. Like they don't even want to enjoy drinking it.
They don't care. Oh my gosh, I'm
just
so sorry.
Just the thing.
Which is funny though, because like I have a lot
Can
of.
I eat this other one?
We have a million. You're bringing some back to Ghost Host. You're very welcome.
Thomas is gonna love us.
She gave her landlord some too.
Oh yeah, she came up here. She was just like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hey," and then I open up this box that my mom brought, and there's like 15 of them. I'm like, "Okay, I'm definitely giving them 4 downstairs. Like they need it."
I feel so bad. I opened their door on my way in.
Yeah, so they're very sweet. I'm very. If anyone is in Jersey City, Bread and Salt is one of the best bakeries I've ever gone to, and it's down the street from me, and it's so good. I wish I went this morning, but I was very lazy. Maybe I'll go tomorrow, but it's so good.
Well, this is great.
This
I love
pastel
it.
de nata.
Yeah.
It's like flaky. There's like an egg custard inside. I tried so hard to make it like at work. I tried so hard. It's so hard to make. It's not an easy thing to make.
Is that like puff pastry?
It's puff
What is that?
pastry. It's like puff pastry and phyllo dough. It's the same thing. And I used puff pastry at work, which was not that easy to do. Because you have to like roll it out super thin.
Yeah, because it's like
Has a few sheets.
Yeah. It
feels more like puff pastry, but it's not.
But it's as flaky as phyllo.
Yeah,
Or phyllo. What do you say?
either is fine. Philo? Philo.
Okay, either.
Philo. Philodo.
Either.
Well,
Yeah, you're welcome.
thank you.
Yeah, I hope you like it. We've had it 900 times, maybe even more. Well, you're like in your 80s now.
Excuse me?
Excuse me?
I didn't even make it to 60 yet. Thank you.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
She's not 60.
My
I'm
mom's-
gonna age well because, like, look, she has no grays, barely wrinkles.
Yeah.
If I start my Botox now, I don't think I'll get there.
Because of the chubbiness.
Oh yes, the chubbiness.
It doesn't let you have wrinkles.
Yes.
All right, well,
Do you have any suggestions for any parents out there that their kids are chefs? And they're worried about it because you absolutely did not care.
what about her working holidays and things like that?
We didn't celebrate holidays, so like they didn't.
Yeah, you don't
care.
celebrate Christmas, so it doesn't matter.
What holidays did we celebrate together? As long as I was home for Thanksgiving,
We would have the holidays, obviously.
I didn't miss too much. I was very much
It was
like
sad because Christmas we didn't celebrate. So, Thanksgiving we celebrate.
yeah, and I was there.
But Christmas we didn't celebrate Christmas, so it didn't.
But you grew up celebrating Christmas.
Oh yeah,
But you don't now, obviously.
obviously.
Yeah, understandably.
But then there's other
I have a
holidays
Muslim
they make.
father, if anyone was wondering.
But then it makes up for when they have their holidays, So
Yeah, I would be there. I would request off. I think the one thing that a lot of young chefs need to know is request your days. Like, take your days off that you want to take off. Like, if you don't want to work Christmas, you don't have to work Christmas. Like, Nick, he would make deals. He would be like, I'll work Thanksgiving if I have Christmas Eve off. Like,
Yeah.
just make your way into it. Like, you don't need to work
and
the holidays.
thing is, there's always somebody that will work the holiday that you don't.
Yeah, like
Christmas.
there are people
somebody
who
would
give
work
it to
Christmas.
the J1s. Like, where are they
they
gonna
can't go spend time with their family anyways, so what does it matter?
Yeah, like, don't. I feel like if you are young, well, first of all, generations coming up, they don't even want to work. So, like,
Yeah.
they're probably like, why do I have to work holidays or even Saturdays? And
Or
I'm just,
any days.
yeah, but
I
I
have
don't know.
one more question before we finish this
Uh-oh.
episode. Are you ready?
Oh no! Go ahead.
Are you proud of Dahlia?
Of course I am.
Oh, that's
I
it.
brag about her all the time. And then after I tasted her food, I actually said, wow, she could really cook. She is different from her father. Her technique, her
I was taught
style
differently.
Yeah.
is different. But she actually asks her dad for his ways. And
Yeah,
I'm not
sometimes she's like,
stubborn
let me
with-
text my dad and see what he would say.
I'm not stubborn with my cooking. I think that's like the one thing I'm not stubborn about. Where like I don't say I'm good. I never say I'm good at cooking.
and if you want to learn a different way, you ask.
yeah,
And
like
you
I
feel
don't
bad.
mind. I don't know. I
Or
don't.
if you like a dish, you ask.
my
instead of-
ego's not bad. Like I don't have a bad ego when it comes to cooking.
Do
Everything
I have
else.
a bad ego?
No, you like learning. So
I like to learn.
yeah.
Everybody,
But like
everything.
we know the people that are like, no, we're good, and that's it. And me
Oh,
and
we
you are
know.
like, no, you're not. You don't
Yeah.
even know how to make something
Yeah.
that we know how to make. So yeah. Oh, so you're proud of me?
Yes, I am.
Aw.
They do brag about me a lot.
Yeah.
They like to brag.
And come on, we had Chef D party and
The Chef D party.
a Chef D party and why? would
She's
we-
a support. She's a support. She likes to support.
And
you're
you're a
doing
good
something
dishwasher,
you like
too.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, that was the part I didn't like.
Not really.
When she would do her little Instagram meal videos, you had to see the kitchen behind her.
No, it wasn't that. I'm not as bad as Daddy. I'm not as bad as him.
Oh.
I'm not that bad.
Ooh.
Every time he cooks, every single time, there's a knife in the sink. Why do you put so much stuff in the sink? She's always complaining, and I'm
No,
just
but
like,
for some reason, when you cook, the floor would always be dirty. That is-
yeah. Well, the floor's always dirty with me. I don't know why, but the floor's.
I can't
always...
stand a dirty floor.
No,
I
we're talking like
sleep-
slippery. No, we're not talking that dirty.
That's funny because I've done events with Dahlia where she's like just cleaning up behind me the whole time because she doesn't want it to be a mess. So she appreciates, even though she's not telling you, she appreciates that you did that for her.
Well, now that
because
I work,
she
I
does that
work
for me.
I work for a family now, and I don't know why, but I don't mind if there's a few dishes in the sink. But if the housekeeper walks by and sees dishes, like she cleans right away. And I'm like, stop. Like, I will wash that bowl. Like, it's not a big deal. And she'll like look at me. She's like, no, there can't be any dirty dishes. And I'm just like, there's going to be dirty dishes. I'm cooking all day. But, like, she's very...
Yeah.
Well, that's just what she does. Like, they just constantly keep cleaning. But, like, for me, I'm just like, there's going to be dishes. Like, it's...
Yeah, trust me. There will be dishes.
There's always dishes. But
and then this bowl doesn't look good with that. Oh, let me get another bowl. And then, oh, no, this is too big for this one. Let me get another one. And I'm like, oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Or when I did my events.
Oh, I know. I know the feeling.
I know, but you didn't have your mom.
She used to bring the dirty
I would bring
dishes
the
home.
dirty dishes back because I'd be like, I don't want to wash these dishes at these old people's houses I don't even know. I would just like rush back home.
And then you would do the dishes.
Yes.
Yeah. The night, like midnight, she would come.
Obviously,
I would come. I would knock on the window because we were on the first floor apartment. I would knock on the window and be like, I'm back. And they would be like, how was the apartment? How was the party? And I would be like, oh, I brought dishes back.
No food, but dishes.
I'm never doing parties out of my house again.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Never doing that
Cheers
again.
to never cooking out of my own home for other people.
No, unless you're over.
Unless
you're a
or
guest.
like a friend maybe, but I'm not working. I'm not doing it. I'm not cooking from
Oh,
home.
and by the way, for anyone that wanted to know how those empanadas were, everyone loved it. Just saying. Got a few text messages the next day.
Yes, they were amazing.
They were really good. So
I helped her once.
with cooking.
Empanadas.
when? I can't remember.
For the Goddard party.
Oh. My mom, for a
Volunteered
split,
you.
like 10 seconds, kept volunteering me for different things. So she'd be like, yeah, she could cook for that. Oh, she'll do
Teaches
that. Sure.
appreciation,
So, like, I remember I just accepted the personal chef job that I have now. And I had off that Friday. And she was like, oh my gosh, we need to do Teacher's Appreciation Day. Can you do that? It's Mexican food. And I'm like, all right, I'll be easy. Like, whatever. They were really nice. Like, everyone was actually really nice. And, like, I would have done it way better if I had actual time.
Yeah.
But I
Or
had
a better kitchen.
yeah.
Or if you were getting paid to do it.
No, I got paid. She
Oh, okay.
paid me. She paid me. She
Who,
was
your
a-
mom?
Of course, with a discount.
No, the owner.
Oh, okay.
And like, thank God she has a really awesome boss. Like, really awesome
Yeah,
boss.
she's-
I think everyone that works with her is like, ooh, your daughter's a chef. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And I'm just like walking in like, hey, I got this sub from
Well, I was
down
just
the
hoping
street.
it was very good, so they would,
Yeah, what if it was bad?
It wasn't the best. I'm not gonna lie.
I was like, I hope these empanadas are good.
What if it was
No,
bad?
they really liked the empanadas. What's nice about empanadas is you don't have to warm them up. Like, you could just literally serve them room temp.
Yeah, but the meat is what makes the empanadas.
You get the empanadas.
Bananas.
I wish we brought you the Portuguese empanadas, like the one that are breaded with
they're
the chicken
different.
inside. Yeah,
Different.
it's like breaded empanada.
Like,
Oh
It's not like the dough. It's breaded.
no, they bread one of the doughs, the chicken one.
But the dough is
Oh,
very...
and the shrimp one. She would love
Yeah.
the shrimp one. Okay,
Yeah,
next
oh,
time.
next time.
yes, next time. I'm excited. I'm coming to Portugal with you
Well,
guys
of
this year.
course, you're welcome to
This
come.
year.
Yeah,
Mark
well,
it on
I
the
have
calendar.
to go soon, so
Well, let's
we'll be
go.
there. Well, maybe we'll record from there. All right, guys.
Yeah,
Thank
from
you
the farm.
so
Live from
much.
the farm in Portugal.
That would be funny. We have no Wi-Fi to even upload this shit.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. You think we're like...
Well, we didn't for a long time.
Okay, but now we do, okay?
We didn't have Wi-Fi for a long time. It's been the past 5 years. This is when
No, we did have Wi-Fi. It's just you're in the middle of the country. And with
So
all
it would
these
be like
trees.
one iPod allowed at the same time.
Oh, I
like
see,
you
I see.
weren't allowed to, like, everyone didn't have their laptops.
Now they have the new technology.
We didn't want, like, yeah, we would literally be in the middle of nowhere when we went as kids, which was
I mean,
nice.
that when I did my externship in Italy, I had no Wi-Fi. There was zero Wi-Fi. I had
Did you
to
have
stay.
to go to the internet cafes?
Yeah, I had to stay
Yes,
up
isn't
late
that
and
fun?
go to the internet cafe, or I had to sit outside late at night because I had the password saved, and I'm like sitting on the stoop of the cafe. And I hated it at the time, but I think it really made you appreciate and like enjoy
Everything else.
It made you really like immerse yourself in the surroundings instead of being glued to your phone because you
Yeah.
had no choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, thank you guys for
Thank you.
listening. Thank you for joining us
Thank
as your
you for
special
having me.
guest. This was fun.
Yeah.
I hope everyone learned a little bit about our hostess with the mostest, Dahlia.
Hey, yo.
And let us know what you think about the episode.
Yeah, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Quiche My Ass Pod. And Angelica's been doing great with it, so shout out Angelica.
Yes.
And we are not uploading a YouTube video for this because we unfortunately don't have our beautiful faces on camera. But don't forget to follow us on YouTube and subscribe. Love you guys. Mwah.
Love you. Bye.
You don't have to clap. Thank you.